UnMasked, the downfiring L7T 10-inch and 12-inch enclosures. So these are a pretty straightforward thing. If you guys have seen or heard any of the passive L7T downfiring subwoofer enclosures.
I have.
I have too. Right. You know, we're biased, but I think they sound pretty good. This is essentially the same enclosure with a built-in amplifier to the side of the box. So we had a ton of success with our downfiring PTRTP, the powered Comp RT downfiring enclosure, and this is kind of in the same vein of those products. That amplifier is essentially going to be perfectly matched to the subwoofer that's inside the enclosure, so you're going to be getting plenty of power out of those subwoofers. And the nice thing about it is that it does have quick disconnect everything plugs on it. So power, ground, remote, signal wire, even the bass knob, all that stuff you can just unplug. So if you need that last extra bit of space in your trunk, you can just unplug it and away you go, and hook it back up when you want your bass again.
Yeah, these will be available in 10 and a 12 inch, 500 watts on the 10 and 600 watts on the 12. So that little amplifier has done a really good job. And the difference between this enclosure and the non-loaded enclosure is the box is actually a little bit bigger to make up for the airspace that the amplifier takes up. I mean, they could have stuffed that amplifier in the same box and just kind of choked the woofer a little bit, but we chose to take the more correct route and the more acceptable route and make the box the correct volume with the amplifier. But those things sound really good. And I know for a long time we didn't have a powered subwoofer above the HS8.
Yeah.
And in the past we'd actually offered a 12-inch vented woofer, and I forgot the model number of that, and a 10-inch sealed, which had
the PT250 and the PES10, I think?
PES10 was the Solo Classic 10.
Okay.
That was the other one that was great. I had one of those in my Suburban. That actually had a vinyl-wrapped enclosure with carpet on the ends. It looked beautiful. It was really nice. The other one was a Comp VR12, and those things were killer. That just, I don't know if it wasn't the right time or what, but we've definitely found out with all of our other enclosures that you guys like those loaded enclosures with the amplifiers built in, because it's so much easier.
These days, simpler and quicker is easier and better for shops.
Gooder.
It's more gooder. So, the more
quote me on that.
Yeah, the more time you can save on the install, and the simpler you can make things for people, you're going to sell more and more product. And the longer I stay here, the more I'm discovering that. So, speaking of awesome powered subwoofer enclosures, what's this thing that we got here, John?
That is going to be the HS12 we've been talking about. Now, if you guys are familiar with the HS8, that was our 150 watt powered 8-inch woofer in the cast aluminum enclosure. You guys wanted more, so we made a 10-inch version. This is now the 12-inch version. That is an actual 12-inch woofer in a cast aluminum enclosure with a metal grill. It's got a 230 watt amp built in with a variable crossover. It uses the exact same wiring harness, same accessories as the HS8 and the HS10. So if you have an HS8 or an HS10 and you want to see how much better this thing sounds, just go to your local authorized dealer and see if they'll let you plug one in real quick, because it obviously is no issue at all. I honestly never thought we would have a 12-inch subwoofer that would fit under the seat.
I didn't either.
I didn't think we'd break 165 dB either in SPL. Then we're up to, what, 186.6, I think, is the record?
Some insane. I don't even know what the number is.
I don't know how that's physically possible. But we've both heard this in Kyle. He's got a little Ranger pickup, little extended cab Ranger pickup. He's the guy that designed the Solo X and Solo XS. He has one of these in his truck, one of the prototypes, and it is astounding.
Yeah, it's actually quite the difference. So, I mean, and it is kind of like what you would expect going from a 10 to a 12, but I didn't expect that big of a difference. It was, so what you notice going from the 8 to the 10 is a little bit more low-end bass and overall output. And then even going from the 10 to the 12, there's even more low-end bass and even more output, which is astounding. They've managed to get as much as they can out of such a small footprint and such little power. I mean, it really is just an impressive piece.
It's that bridge between the big enclosure in the back and a separate amplifier into this all-in-one piece. And we listened to you. You said you wanted bigger than an 8. We made an 8, and you said you wanted bigger than that. We made a 10. Well, now we've made a 12. Don't ask for a 15.